I can't believe that the next games will be Pokemon Legend ZA, based on Kalos, not Generation 2, not Generation 5, Kalos, Generation 6. And honestly, those were the games I was most hyped for a Legends game to be made of, and now that it's happening, I'm very excited. And of course, now I have to make a top 10 Mega list because Megas are returning, and that's the most hype thing ever. Megas are a fan favorite mechanic, and I can't believe they are returning. However, I have some reserves about Megas returning in Legends ZA, because Legends Arceus did not have any abilities in it. It really watered down the mechanics of battle, and Megas kinda use all those mechanics, stats, abilities, types, to make worse Pokemon better. So I really hope in Legends ZA they reintroduce abilities, at least in some form. Otherwise, I feel Megas aren't gonna feel as exciting to play around with as they were back in X and Y and ORAS. Going off of that, the setting for Pokemon's ZA could very well potentially be the construction of Lumio City. It's kinda guaranteed that it's centered around Lumio City. So I kinda kept my scope centered around that of the Pokemon I'd love to see Megas for. And honestly, I could see Megas actually being very scarce and just being the boss battles we had, like in Legends Arceus. We had a set amount of boss battles, and each of them were a new Hisuian form. In Legends ZA, they could very well possibly all just be Megas with a set form and a very limited number. However, I would love for that not to be the case and them to just go crazy. Give a bunch of Pokemon that need the stat increase, the ability buffs, the type changes to really help them stand their own and actually be competitive again. And I also kept in mind the over-designed feeling that Megas can kind of get. A couple Megas from Generation 6 felt a little bit over-designed for me, so I kept my selection of these top 10 to Pokemon that I feel like if they worked to get Megas, they wouldn't feel super over-designed, at least compared to what we already have. And with all those ideas and concepts churning around, let's get to number 10. Number 10, I feel like Exploud would be an excellent candidate for a Mega Evolution. He really needs the stat buff, and being in the Kalos Central Dex could very well just receive a Mega in order to give him the buff he needs, and very well could go into a musical over-the-top organ design for his Mega Evolution. However, I don't think he's the best candidate, therefore he is on the bottom of this list. For number 9, I put Crawdont, and I personally feel that this guy could have a really cool design as a Mega, going along the same route like Mega Gyarados, Garchomp, Scizor. Very easily could do that. Crawdont really does need the help, and I feel like he would make an excellent candidate for a Mega. Number 8 is Toxicroak. I personally really want Toxicroak to be good, and I've always loved Toxicroak. And it's always been such an underwhelming Pokemon. With a Mega, it could finally get that focus it needs to become a really good Pokemon with either a new ability, increased moves and certain stats, or even a type change. Number 7, Excadrill would be a fantastic Mega in my opinion. This Pokemon is super cool, powerful, and a fan favorite. And its Mega could even become even more massive drill. And with the construction of Lumio City being the potential plot of Legends ZA, this construction-based Pokemon could very well be included as part of the story and would make sense as a boss as well. For number 6, I have Kingdra, and I just want him to get that extra boost of over-design that some Pokemon got, like Scizor and Lopunny, just that little extra zap to make him over the top. He's already a good Pokemon, but I feel like if he's given a little bit more, he's gonna be like Uber's level of crazy, and I really just want to see that. Number 5, I have Trevenant. This is the only Generation 6 Pokemon I have on this list, and it's very likely that maybe all the Megas we get are just from Generation 6, and the story develops in a way where they all lose their Megas in the future or something. But I put Trevenant as the Generation 6 pick because, for me, he's the one I see the most becoming a Mega somehow. Number 4, I put Nidoking. Just Nidoking, not Nidoqueen. I mean, Glalie only got an evolution when Frostlass didn't, so I think that is fair. This fan favorite guy just always does super good, and I love his design, but it's something I can see, very much like Kingdra, get pushed a little bit more, get that little bit extra to make him even more of a monstrous kaiju. I really would love to see that with a Mega Nidoking. Number 3. This is top 3, and honestly it's kind of insane that I'm saying, but Weavile is personally the number 3 pick for me. I feel this Pokemon needs a little bit more help. It was created to help Sneasel to get out of the funk it originally was in Generation 2, and did a fantastic job, but I still feel like Weavile needs to get that little bit of extra boost to still stay relevant and to get that extra ability or stat or extra stab potentially to elevate Weavile from the state it is to a little bit higher, and I'd love to see if it got designed a little bit more. Number 2, this is a giant given, and honestly is kinda a cop-out answer. The starters, in my opinion, will absolutely get a Mega Evolution. And if they don't, something was missed in translation, and I don't know what it would be. In all the previous games, every set of starters got Megas. Generation 6, you had, well, not the main Pokemon, but you had Generation 1, you went to Oras, they all get Megas. So I think it's very likely the starters will get Megas, or there'll be a second set of starters that will all get Megas. And the Pokemon I personally would love to get Megas, or at least secondary forms if they aren't given Megas for some reason, is Meganium, Empoleon, and Incineroar. Meganium just really needs that boost to its stats. This poor dinosaur has been languishing forever, and honestly, an additional type and change to its ability, buffing out its stats, would really do this Pokemon wonders, and personally, I would give it the Fairy type. Empoleon's the other starter I really see them going into. It's a Napoleon the Penguin. There's no way they won't at least include him somewhere. I'd love to see Empoleon be one of the starters to get a Mega Evolution or additional form, in the same sense as Incineroar. Now, I know some people be hating on Incineroar, but this Pokemon is popular for a reason. And honestly, I'm not going to complain if they choose Incineroar, because that gives us a potential for 1, if not 2, additional designs for this Pokemon. Incineroar could become a 4-legged beast like many fans wanted it to be back in Generation 7. I really feel like this selection, Meganium, Empoleon, and Incineroar, is like the perfect storm of what the starters could really be in Legends ZA, and even if they don't get starters, hopefully they'll get some kind of form or additional boost to make them a little bit different like the starters did in Legends Arceus. And wait, we still have number 1 to get to, and obviously, if it's not Flygon, then what am I on? I have to put Flygon as number 1. I mean, the only reason Flygon didn't get a Mega back in Generation 6 was due to artist block for everyone. They couldn't decide on a design they felt was right for Flygon, so it didn't get a Mega. Honestly, I feel like giving Flygon a Mega in ZA would be a really great redemption story, to give the fans what they've been desiring since learning about that, and for the team to just be able to tell themselves, yeah, we can make a Mega Flygon and it's gonna absolutely rock. That is my number 1 pick, desire, hope for Mega in Pokemon Legends ZA. And that is my list. What is your top 10? Be sure to let me know down in the comments. And while you're down there, be sure to like, share the video, all that regular stuff. This is a little bit different than what I normally do, so be sure to let me know what you think as well. And I hope you guys have a fabulous day. I'll see you guys all in the next video. Bye!